Whatever you're identified with controls you. This is one of the biggest statements I've ever heard. So what exactly this means is whatever you are identified with takes in charge of you. So what is the meaning of identification here? So if I go a little deeper, and identification means when your mind takes you over. So when you completely identified and when you are completely attached or go with that flow, or in other words, in our everyday life, we say, I'm losing it. So when you say, I'm losing it, or you're losing it, it means to say your thoughts or the mind-making self is controlling you. So if I say mind-making self means to say your negative thoughts rather than your positive thoughts are controlling you, which can be destructive, which can be futile, and most of the time it is futile in nature. So whatever you're identified with, so I'm not talking about even only about the negative thoughts, but you can talk about even happiness, you can talk about anything, you can talk about any emotions, you can talk about any feelings when it comes to you, and when you are in the grip of either happiness or you are in the grip of either love, or you are in the grip of any negative thoughts, so it basically takes you over, or it controls you. So let's say, for example, if you're too much happy, if you are really 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 happy, and even the happiness state controls you, and sometimes you can take so many decisions which maybe eventually down the track it can be destructive, right? So it means to say any state which you are identified, regardless whatever the state is. So I'm not actually defining only the negative states. So even whatever the states you are identified with is means like you are in control of them. So whatever you're identified with controls you, so it takes you over. So the best way to get rid of this identification is to disassociate from your mind making self, which is the fictitious self. So what is the best way to do uh, is come into the present moment. So when I say come into the present moment, it means to say, so give a shift from your mind making identity to the present moment. So if I say present moment, it means to say just start focusing on your breath, or pay attention to the nature, or just look outward and pay attention to the images, or pay attention to anything what is in front of you. If you are not in the nature, if you're sitting in a room, just try to pay attention to anything. If it is a living or non-living, doesn't matter, but what actually it needs to disassociate from your mind making self identity is a shift. So shift can be anything. So once this shift happens, then what will happen is you will automatically disassociate from your mind making self, and you will change your state. So you will go from one state, which is your mind making self state, to your awareness state, means alert state, or you can say is a conscious state. So when you are actually into the present moment, or when you are more conscious, so the the outcome is the side effect is you get yourself disassociated from your mind identity. So there is a disassociation involved in that. So because you're changing your state from your mind making fictitious self or your mind making self identity to your conscious being. So that shift is very, very powerful. And if you can hold it for a long time, so you get conscious more and you can remain conscious for a longer period of time, or if you can say that if you can hold your knowing for a longer period of time, you will open your portal, you will open the portal of present moment. So that's very important, to come into the present moment, to disassociate from your mind making self. And once you're disassociated with your mind making self, it means to say you're no longer identified with your mind, and then it is no longer controlling you. Yeah, you can practice it anytime. You can go inward and outward, and you can focus on anything rather than paying attention to your thoughts or emotions. So just try it and feel the difference, and you will feel it more peaceful, and the result and the outcome is always bigger than the efforts.